Memento, memento,
Memento.
memento, memento forbid! Get out.
Behind you, behind you.
See that brother? See that bit there? The only reason that he killed
Too easy, baby!
Firebomb and took so much damage.
Oh, that army you got, Bishop. What in the world?
That's memento. For life. Let's go.
If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. The first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up, mod squad? Welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. Before we get into the video, if you're already subscribed to me, then don't forget to smash that like button, as it really helps push our videos into the recommended section, which in turn helps the channel grow. Interaction is a big part of what helps us in the YouTube algorithm, and the extra support is very much appreciated. In today's video, I'll showcase one of the strongest assault rifle builds in the game for both solo PvE and the Dark Zone. In fact, this build is so good you can also use it in a team. You guys have already seen in the intro gameplay how strong this build is in PvE, so before we talk about it a little bit more, let's take a minute to watch this clip and see how devastating this build is in PvP.
Dropped one. 2, 3. Memento, memento,
Memento.
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 Where you going, boy? Memento, memento, memento! Memento forbid! Go! Let's go!
Now that insane clip came courtesy of Bishop Boas, a fellow Division 2 content creator who streams on Twitch regularly. As you guys saw, he is a beast of a PvP player. In fact, he is one of the 4 who hold the record for highest manhunt on console at 1,302 kills. Both links to his Twitch and YouTube channel will be left in the description below, so make sure you guys head over, drop him a follow or a sub, and show him some love in the comment section below for helping me out with today's video. Also, if you want to see a little bit more of him in action, then I'll leave some even crazier clips at the end of the video. Today's build is packed full of damage and survivability and will allow you to face tank multiple enemies and pull off crazy clips like TWC's Bishop. At its base, this build has 1.7 million armor and fully stacked is capable of reaching well over 3 million. And even if that gets burnt through, you'll gain 95% of your base armor back thanks to the Unbreakable talent. And on top of all that armor, this build also has 3% armor regen for passive healing over time. To make this build even better and more unkillable, I'd suggest combining it with the Eagle Bearer, as its tenacity talent will give 40 to 80% damage resistance, allowing you to face tank multiple enemies, and it will make it easier to push up and collect trophies. With all that survivability in this build, it also helps counter the negative side of tenacity. Now when it comes to this build's damage numbers, you're looking at 751k crits to the head of NPCs and 589k plus crits to the body, which is perfect for shredding heroic NPCs. If you feel you're lacking in the damage department, you can also switch out Unbreakable for the Intimidate talent, which will give you 35% amplified damage while you have bonus armor. This is a talent I recommend for both PvE and PvP. When it comes to the damage against players in the DZ, with the Unbreakable version, you're hitting 220k plus headshots and between 150 to 180k plus crits to the body. So as tanky as this build is, it doesn't struggle in the damage department. These high damage numbers are thanks to this build having 53% crit chance and a base crit damage of 156%. In PvE, you can combine both Vindictive and Finisher, and it will give you a total of 240% critical hit damage and max crit chance. It just means getting in the habit of finishing enemies off with your sidearm and killing enemies that are under a status effect. On top of all this crit damage, you'll also have 18% damage to targets out of cover and 8% damage to armor, which is more applicative damage, and pairs nicely with the Intimidate talent. For the PvP version of this build, I suggest using the Firewall Specialization, as the Striker Shield adds survivability, allows you to do up to 12% extra damage, and helps you proc your Instinct talent for the extra 30% weapon damage. It also comes with the best armor kit in the game when it comes to PvP. For PvE, I recommend the Gunner Specialization, as it adds survivability, DPS and utility to the build. The Banshee Pulse will also help you proc Vindictive, making it easier for you to stack both Vindictive and Finisher together. What makes this build so overpowered though is the synergy between the gear talents, skills, specialization and weapon talents. They all chain together to make an insanely strong build that just gets stronger and stronger the more you kill players or NPCs. With each kill you gain damage and stack bonus armor, making you extremely difficult to kill. This build also allows you to create situations in PvP or PvE where you'll have the advantage before a fight. You could do this by leaving trophies or down players around you and using them just before you engage in your next fight.
Stop running, me.
Just a little frozen pizza.
Those are still
It's a trap. Oh, that's tough.
This build is perfect for all heroic content, whether that's control points, bounties or the summit, and as showcased via Bishop Boas, is an insanely strong solo or team build for the Dark Zone. If you have any questions, then leave them down in the comment section below and I'll reply like I always do. Now we've spoken a little bit about the build and I've showcased some of what it's capable of, let's get into a quick build breakdown before ending this video with some more insane gameplay. Right guys, starting off with the specialization, and we are using the Firewall. Why? Because it's one of the most OP specializations in the game and it's going to give us insane survivability and it's going to add to our damage. So starting off with a med kit, as you can see, your armor kit recovers 200% armor and 200% health over 10 seconds. Best armor kit in the game, hands down. Every specialization unlocks a special skill or some skill mods, and as you can see we have the striker shield. We're using this because a shield gives us survivability and it's going to give us damage as well, because anybody who's in the cone radius of this shield will take say around 12% damage. I don't believe you can get any higher than that. If you guys have seen any mods that give you higher than 12% total, then let me know in the comment section below. This is also a great specialization to use if you're in a team, as allies deal plus 10% damage to enemies that are within 10 meters of you, so you're essentially boosting your teammates' damage. So pack rushing with this specialization is pretty nutty. You hit that armor kit, you're constantly healing for 5 seconds and you're helping your teammates deal extra damage. Up next we have Fiery Response. On armor break, apply burn to enemies within 5 meters. This is great for PvE and it doesn't apply in PvP. And finally we have 30% bonus armor during cover to cover movements. And that is pretty much it for the specialization guys and why I'm using it, so let's move on to the build breakdown. Right guys, getting into the build breakdown, start off with our primary weapon. We have the FAMAS 2010, of course. It is the metal when it comes to PvP. 79.5k base damage, 900 RPM with 50 in a magazine. Near enough all maxed out except for 19.5% health damage, so we're nearly there. We have 10% damage targets out of cover, helping us reach that 18% damage targets out of cover on this build. We have In Sync, which gives us that 30% weapon damage. And when it comes to the attachments on this weapon, we have 5% crit chance on the scope, we have 5% crit chance on the laser pointer, 5% crit damage on the muzzle brake, and then we have the magazine, which gives us the extra 20 rounds. Moving on to the secondary, which you could also use as your primary, is the Eagle Bearer. You can use it if you have it guys. We have 93.1k base damage, 750 RPM with 60 in a magazine. Headshot kills grant tenacity for 15 seconds. The strength of tenacity is increased by 1% for body shots and 5% for headshots, so make sure you guys go for the headshots to get max damage resistance. Tenacity is 40 to 80% of damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. So if you get that headshot kill guys, you'll get 15 seconds of 40 to 80% damage resistance. Although the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active, up to 100% with 3 kills. Looking at the attachments on the scope, we have 10% crit chance. On the grip, we have 10% weapon handling. On the muzzle, 15% critical hit damage, and the magazine gives us the extra 30 rounds. If you're using the PvE version of this build and you're using the gunner specialization, you want to use the Grudge as your secondary weapon. That way you get the perfect vindictive talent and you can stack that with the finisher talent. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and your allies within 20 meters 18% critical hit chance and 18% critical hit damage for 20 seconds. That is a very lengthy buff and goes nicely with the finisher talent, which lasts for 15 seconds. When it comes to the attachments on here, we have 5% critical hit chance on the scope, we have the extra 20 rounds in the magazine, 5% crit chance on the laser pointer, and 5% critical hit damage on the muzzle. Moving on to our sidearm, we have the Orbit pistol with perfect finisher. Swapping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. Now that we have covered the weapons guys, we're going to move on to the build, starting off with our Fenris mask. This gives us 10% assault rifle damage. We have max armor at 170k, 6% crit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and 12% critical hit damage via mod. I'm going to say now this build is maxed out across the board. It's one of 2 builds I have that is totally maxed out. Moving on to the chest piece, we have a Grupo Sombra chest piece that gives us 15% critical hit damage. We have 15% weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, 6% crit chance, and 12% critical hit damage via mod. And when it comes to the talent, if you want to go for more damage, you can use Intimidate. If you want more survivability, I'd suggest using Unbreakable. Intimidate, while you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. This build stacks a lot of bonus armor, so it's not hard to come by, so you'll have that 35% amplified damage more often than not. Moving on to the holster, and it is a Seska holster giving us 10% critical hit chance. We have max armor 170k, 12% critical hit damage, and 6% crit chance. The knee pads on this build are the Fox Prayer knee pads, best in slot. We have 170k armor, 8% damage to targets out of cover, multiplicative damage, and 12% critical hit damage. Onto our contractor's gloves. They give us 10% LMG damage, which doesn't apply to this build, but the main reason we're using it is because we get the 8% damage to armor. We have 170k armor and 12% critical hit damage. And finally, onto the backpack. You know what it is, the Memento.
Don't worry. Memento for men will make people strong.
Memento for men!
Allowing us 10% extra weapon damage every time we pick up a trophy, and 50% bonus armor. We also get 30% skill efficiency, 12% critical hit damage via a mod. We get 3% armor regen. This backpack is just OP. It strengthens your skills, gives you extra armor, gives you extra damage. It's everything you can need, and all it requires is 30 kills. Moving on to the skills now, and we have the Striker Shield. We get this from the Specialization Firewall. This shield of course gives us survivability, but it also gives us 12% damage bonus. Looking at the mods, we have 8% shield health, 4.6% shield health, and then you have 5% damage bonus. Looking at our second skill, I have the Decoy. This is a great skill to use in the Dark Zone. We have 7.5% health and 7.5% duration. The Memento's efficiency buff is going to buff both your skills, making them stronger than it actually shows right here. Now, other skills I'd recommend if you're going to be using this build in the Dark Zone is the Booster Hive, because status effects are everywhere, so you definitely want to be using a Booster Hive, or have someone in your team at least running one Booster Hive. I'd also recommend using the EMP Sticky if you have it. It's great for knocking down those big shields and shutting down skill builds for a little bit. Moving on to the stat sheet now, guys, and I'm not going to talk through it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. We had that 500 like goal here on the channel that we always hit no matter what. Only one video in a whole year didn't reach the 500 like mark, so let's not make this number 2. Make sure we hit that 500 like goal. Drop a comment down below and I'll reply like I always do. Don't forget to head over and check out Bishop. Great guy. Thank you for helping me out today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
On the right, on the right.
Synthetic, I hope you got it.
I'm going out door.
Bishop, focus the one side. The one inside there.
So what is CDN the best at? That's tough.
AR hazard.
Yo, Memento for life, baby. Get cooked.
As a nigga, I'm sorry, mommy. I can't give you
Memento for me.
Daddy can't give you no more sweets. Rogue striker drone. I should have never gave her no damn.
Gotta run now, bum.
Good job, bro.
Thank you.
Good job, bro. Easy 1v4. Who is? Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
Bomb.
Look at that, dude. That's so dumb. I'm gonna, dude. I'm gonna clip that. Oh yeah.
Go.
Oh yeah. Super Bishop. Oh look, more trophies. That's tough. Oh, that's tough, dude. Memento.
Meanwhile,
Oh yeah, baby, let's go. What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now?
Doing pretty good. Good to hear, man.
Oh, that's gonna get clipped.